Rev up your engines! All right, here's an almost brand new Denali a guy recently got. Now, of course, they're very expensive. This thing lists at like $61,000. And the owner just told me there's no way he was going to pay $61,000 for a vehicle. But the dealership here in Clarksville actually called him up and said, how'd you like to trade your other GM truck out and get into a newer one? They gave him 40 grand on a trade-in. Well, so if you look at it that way, this thing only cost him $21,000. And that's a much better deal, right? And he wasn't satisfied with the Yukon because he tows an RV and they were scared towing it. It did not have enough power. This has a 6.2 liter V8. It's got plenty of power, and he loves the 10-speed transmission that this thing has. He said it's got no problem towing whatsoever, and it's smooth, and it doesn't have any kind of strange shifting legs. A lot of people are worried about that with these 10-speed automatic transmissions. But this 10-speed automatic, when it first came out, it would hunt for gears. People said it felt weird. He tows an RV with this. He said he has no problems with it hunting for gears. He loves it. He's actually gotten 25 miles a gallon in this thing. The Yukon didn't get anywhere near that, yet this has more power. They obviously have gotten rid of the glitches that the early 10 speeds had, because people complained about the glitches from the get-go. They get the vehicle and they said, I don't like the way it shifts. Now, this has 11,000 miles on it. He has no problems with the yet, so from the get-go, it hasn't had problems. We'll see what happens when it has 100,000 miles on it, but I mean, it doesn't have any of the problems that they had early when they came out with them, even when they were new vehicles. So it looks like they've ironed out a lot of the problems with these 10-speed automatic transmissions in the newer ones. Now, the interesting thing was, he didn't even want a Denali in the first place. He wanted to get a Sierra all loaded for towing, but they didn't have any. This is what they had on the lot, and since it was one of those coronavirus chip ones, it has the rear view camera, but it doesn't have all the side view cameras that the Denalis normally have. But it does have a nice big bumper step, and it's got a little handhold here for us old guys to climb in with. And of course, it's got the GM fancy tailgate. I mean, hey, it's a pretty good setup. You can see it's got the cameras back here, but it doesn't have all the side stuff because they weren't set up. They didn't have the chips for everything. And in the back, he does love the little storage compartment behind the seats. I mean, hey, there's a lot of room in these things. There's no arguing that. He's got a family. They can all fit in. Of course, it's a V8 engine. And sure, everything's made of plastic these days. The intake plate on the valve cover gaskets. That's just the way stuff is. But these 6.2 liter engines are notorious for lasting. They are solid engines. And with the system that it's got in it and the 10-speed transmission, you really can't complain if you can get 25 miles a gallon on a highway and have the power to be able to pull whatever you want. He just didn't like what the Yukon didn't have enough power. And it was just weird that he said he was never going to pay 61 grand for one of these. Well, since I gave him 40 for his with 50,000 miles, hey, he admitted, he said he'd never pay 61 grand out of pocket. Now, you do have to realize one thing, though, that a lot of these are made in Mexico. And as you can see here, manufactured by General Motors de Mexico. Why doesn't it say made in Mexico? Well, it does indirectly right there. 3 means it's made in Mexico. Now as we go inside, it's certainly set up nice. Beautiful dash, chrome and gray and black. Nice big screen, lots of power outlets. You got all your availability for towing, 120 volt outlet, nice big armrest. It's got a sunroof. I don't care about sunroofs in pickup trucks, but it has one. And as you can see, there's a glove box, a Remo. It's got 2 of them, big one and a little one. Now it does have the air-conditioned seats, the heated seats, but unfortunately it doesn't have their intelligent cruise control because they didn't have all the chips in, so it didn't come with that. Although I do have to say myself, I don't know if I would trust GM Electronics to be doing a cruise control where it sees cars that's supposed to slow down. It might speed up and run into them, so maybe he's better off not having the system. I don't know. I wouldn't trust any of those things myself. You always have to be active when you're driving a car. I don't care one way or another. You got to look to see what's coming. You can't just be daydreaming and think the car's going to drive for you. None of these systems work all that well. Customer was driving a Jeep with one, and they were coming under an underpass, and the stupid thing must have thought the shadow was a truck or something, and it stopped the vehicle and he got rear-ended. Need I say more? Be aware of your surroundings and really don't let your vehicle decide whether a shadow is a truck or not. If your eyes work, and they should if you're driving, you can tell the difference between a truck and a shadow. The computers, they kind of get confused. Now, being that this thing was made in Mexico, a lot of the rear ends, the differentials, have had problems, the ones that are made in Mexico, right? I've seen them go out at 60,000 miles. I had one customer that went through 3 of them in 120,000 miles. But the company that sold them this one here in Tennessee, Wyatt Johnson, gives unlimited powertrain warranty on these things. He said it doesn't matter the mileage or the age. If they did indeed make these rear ends incorrectly in Mexico, he's going to keep getting free ones forever as long as the company stays in business. And this Wyatt Johnson's been around for a long time. It's a huge dealership, so I guess you can't argue that one. I had a customer in Rhode Island, and I'm always leery about buying Nissan products, right? And I said, well, you know, I don't know about that variable compression engine you got in your Nissan. And he said the dealership gave a lifetime warranty on this stuff. And I checked, and sure enough, they did. So if that engine went out, they'd have to fix it. Now, as the owner of this car just reminded me, and I'll remind you, you got to maintain it. You got to do the maintenance, keep a record log of it, because if you don't, they'll say you didn't maintain the car, the warranty's invalid. And of course, if you get in any type of a major wreck, that will invalidate any kind of warranty. So keep that in mind when it comes to warranties. But he's got a lifetime warranty on it, so if that rear end does go out because it was made in Mexico, it's not going to be his dime fixing it. 4-wheel drive, and of course it's a modern system. No, he just leaves it on a rear-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive in the back almost all the time. He says he rarely has to use the 4-wheel drive. Now, as I said, he bought this because this is what was on the lot. So basically, he got 4-wheel drive, and with the deal that he got, he wasn't really paying any extra for it. So there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you have a system you can shut off. So let's take this thing for a spin. Now, us oldsters love this. Nice big handhold to get in and out, one on each side. I'm driver 2 for memory features, and I've never even been in this car before. It's got cool digital gauges, you can see as we go back up. Got a real good wide vision camera there. You can really see what's happening. And if you got a trailer, you know, you got the trailer camera. And for your hookup, if you're hooking up, backing up, moving your boat or whatever. It's just unfortunate it doesn't have the 360 one, because they ran out of chips when they were building this. Those are cool for looking around. Really lazy, you can push the button and the tailgate will open. Push the little button for the tailgate. And as you can see, the tailgate is opening itself. All right, the owner just said it's for the wife, so when you pull up with the groceries, she can unload it and you don't have to get out of the truck. I don't know if his wife's going to agree with this one, though. At 420 horsepower, so when we take it to our little drag strip, we'll see that it's got some power. And of course, it's a big old truck high up in the air. Not a race car, it's a truck, but these things handle a lot better than they used to. Now nobody's coming, so on your mark, get set, go! This thing takes off. And you see how smooth that 10-speed transmission is? You can barely feel or hear it shifting. With 11,000 miles on the clock, this transmission doesn't have any problems. It's shifting like a dream. Only time will tell what happens as it ages. But it's nothing like the earlier ones that I tested out, that you could feel the shifts. They'd always be hunting for gears. Like right now, we're going 40 miles an hour. They'd be going up, down. This thing is totally smooth when you floor it. Takes off, let go, transitions. There's no jerking or hunting or anything in a transmission. And that's a big deal for the guys who bought them and didn't like them. This doesn't have that at all. Now for comparison, his Yukon that he traded for this, since they gave him 40 grand for it with 50-something thousand miles on it, it had a 6-speed automatic, and he said he hated it because it was always hunting for gears, and it made towing his RV a royal pain. He and his wife did not feel safe towing with that thing. With this, they got no problems at all. As you can see, he wasn't lying. 17.6 average, and the best he got was 25.7. Hey, for a truck this big, this fast, you're not going to complain. Now, he just told me it was 18.5, but me flooring and driving like a maniac lowered it 17.6. Now, there's only one thing he really doesn't like about it, and that's if he's towing or driving it hard, he has to use at least mid-grade or high-octane gasoline, or the engine will ping. He didn't like that. I wouldn't like it either, but I guess you can't have everything. Now, it'll run okay just driving around on regular, but if he's towing, going on the Rocky Mountains and stuff, he puts premium gas in and it won't ping then. As the gas cap says, it's recommended to use premium fuel. Doesn't say you have to, but as he said, if he's towing uphill, pulling a lot of weight, he puts in premium gas so it doesn't ping. Now, when he had a Sierra and he got his Denali, he said, well, he certainly believes in the advertising GMC puts out about the Denali ride. He says the Denali ride is infinitely superior to what his Sierra had. He says this is just much more comfortable. Now, as a comparison, he just told me he's got a 2011 Ford Ranger, and he rides around in that, and he says it's kind of like riding around in a garbage can, sometimes rattling and rolling. He gets in this, and it's like, whoa, this is a truck too? It really does ride well. I got to give it to him. So there you have it, a new Denali that the guy wasn't even looking for a Denali, but he ended up getting it because that's what was on the lot, since they gave him 40 grand that he wasn't all that happy with in the first place. He's real happy with this, other than he's got to put high test gas so it doesn't ping when he pulls a lot and goes up hills. But hey, you know, all the rest of the time it runs perfectly fine if you're just tootling along. He didn't care about the four-wheel and all-wheel drive system, but it came with it, so, you know, you never know. He might be on vacation somewhere in the snow. It'll come in real handy, or, you know, maybe pulling somebody out of a ditch. These things can pull an awful lot. Everybody knows I don't like the 1500 Silverados at all. I got a different opinion about this GMC. My AC guy swears by the GMCs. He's got 2 of them, and he hates Silverados too. He said the last one he bought, he'll never buy another one. But he's happy with his GMC, and this guy's pretty happy with this one. But he didn't pay the 61 out of his pocket. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.